Contributor Judy Miller and Olivia Enos, a policy analyst with the Heritage Foundation. Great to have you both with us tonight.
Nice to be with you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so there's been a big debate about who should get credit for this. It's happening on President Trump's watch. I want to play something that former Vice President Dick Cheney had to say about this coming together, those hostages coming home shortly.
Well, if you'd told me this is going to happen, I would have been surprised. Would not have expected that it could happen. So I'm pleased that it has. I think it offers the possibility of significant progress. I think we have to be very careful, and I think the president is being very careful to go operate in a way that we don't get sort of hung out to dry. If they don't meet our standards, then I'd walk.
And Judy, that is what President Trump said he will do. If it's not serious, if it's not going to deal, he's walking away.
Yes, I think President Trump understands what's at stake. I think he understands the need for caution. I'm glad that former Vice President Cheney admitted that he was just as kind of gobsmacked as all the rest of us were by this development. But I think in part you have to credit President Moon Jae-in and Chairman Kim themselves, that is the heads of South Korea and North Korea, because they were the ones that really started this process off with President Moon's invitation to Chairman Kim to attend the Olympics. This initiative, this opening after a period of real freeze, was supported by President Trump and by his administration, and I think that's kind of brought us to where we are today, which is a much better place than where we were, Shannon. I mean, the path to jaw is a lot better than the path to war.
And Olivia, as the president has put together his team, now including Secretary of State Pompeo, bringing in John Bolton, former ambassador to the UN, what do you make of them coming together as we now see walking away from the Iran deal this week and now getting some movement, at least getting these hostages home, and now looking forward to the summit with North Korea?
Well, the release of the 3 Americans was a monumental moment. It's something worth taking stock of, but it's really just a first step. And while it's a positive development and it makes it look like maybe North Korea will be a faithful negotiating partner in the upcoming summit, I think we have to proceed with great caution. And I think that the U.S. needs to be really clear about what its objectives are. One bright spot regarding this is that the fact that North Korea responded to criticism about those 3 Americans being detained means that they might be willing to hear concerns that the U.S. has about human rights issues, for example. The Trump administration hasn't indicated that human rights will be on the table. They've placed greatest priority on denuclearization, but maybe they should turn their focus toward human rights issues as well.
Well, and we know, Judy, that's a big issue with China, and we're negotiating over trade with them and all kinds of other things. They've been a key player in helping to move North Korea. Human rights issues, where do they rank in the discussion of many, many tough foreign policy issues?
I think they just have to have a lower priority at this point than the overriding need to do something about those estimated 20 to 60 nuclear bombs that North Korea is believed to have. And you can see by that wide range, Shannon, that our intelligence about what they have and where they have it is very limited. I think the president is concentrated on making sure that progress is made in that area. And we have to point out that Mr. Pompeo has already stressed that the South Korean preference for a step-by-step process in which North Korea would move towards dismantling its nuclear weapons as sanctions are released will not work. That's not acceptable to the United States. So this is an all-for-nothing proposition on nukes. It's either they either denuclearize or we don't have a deal. That's a high-stakes gamble. I don't want to bring in human rights right now. I think this, the release of these 3 was a precondition as far as the Americans were concerned for this meeting. The North Koreans want this meeting, and that's why those hostages are being released.
All right, Judy and Olivia, much more to discuss. We want you guys to stick around and come back so we can have much more on this topic as we await these hostages. Thank you all. We'll see you again very shortly.
Thank you.
All right, though 3 American hostages are heading home from North Korea, U.S. Pastor Andrew Brunson, you've heard us talk about his case. He's an American. He remains jailed in Turkey. Will President Trump's tough talk and the threat now of sanctions help bring the pastor home? That story is next.